What's going on YouTube? Joe Miner 3131 here with JS Miner 87 on the DFS Quarry channel on YouTube. Ready to break down tomorrow's four-game main slate for Wednesday, November 14th, 2018. Like I said, a four-game slate. Before we get started, if you like the video, give us a thumbs up. Share us, subscribe to the channel, follow us on Twitter, do all that fun stuff. Jared, how you doing tonight?
Yeah, we were just doing pretty well here on the lineups tonight, but you know what? I always appreciate, the day. Sometimes this DFS world feels a little bit like school homework, right? You had to do a lot of homework to really make your picks today, and fortunately, tonight into tomorrow, you get a little easier homework assignment and only breaking down four games. So you look forward to that, I think, when it comes to it sometimes. And certainly I'm looking forward to it as I, get over this cold or flu or whatever I have to kind of just take a quick 45 minutes to an hour tonight, do about 25, 35-minute session tomorrow looking at it one final time. And I think you can get away with that and breaking down tomorrow's slate. But hopefully my good luck continues here. Just seen Draisaitl and McDavid got involved in some scoring here. But, yeah, got a good lineup going tonight here. Covering money lines, and I'm in the money on two. So.
All right, good deal, man. Well, may as well just jump right into it here. Shouldn't take too long. First game up on the slate, we got St. Louis Blues heading into Chicago to take on the Chicago Blackhawks. Probably going to be Johnson in the net for St. Louis, Corey Crawford for Chicago. Chicago is a minus 115 home favorite. We got an over-under of 6. What do you like here?
I guess I'll start with Chicago here. Chicago, I'm just sticking with that Taves and Kane line there, just pairing those guys up. Taves had the goal the other night. And that horrific loss. I watched that goal in fast speed, their overtime loss. Didn't think anything of it really, because I'm looking at it. It was on a little, my little iPhone on the NHL app. And all of a sudden, I see the article today that said, Chicago can't get much worse on an embarrassing overtime loss. And I'm like, yeah, that really was Aho about fell over shooting the puck and he scores on it. So it doesn't get much worse for Chicago as it is right now, losers of 8 straight. As I look here, what happened to DeBrincat and Calhoun? I hope they actually keep this pairings here. Like you said, I never really looked to really, just because hockey starts off, to watch it in real time and kind of notice if that's the line straight up is a hard thing to do. But in this case, I wouldn't mind seeing DeBrincat Calhoun on that third line if they kept it that way. I think that young talent there is at a depth line is really good there. And I like Nick Schmaltz coming up to that first line with Taves and Kane. I'm looking at Taves and Kane, maybe even just one of them from the Chicago side. Defensively, I got no interest in these guys defensively. A 4-game slate, I guess you have to. Give me Brent Seabrook defensively if I have to here. 12 shots, 11 blocks, 2 assists at 5,200. That's a fair price in a 4-game slate here. And then, like I said, no interest in Crawford or Ward, whoever one it would be. It should be Crawford because Ward started against his home team there the other night. I'm looking at this St. Louis team on a 4-game slate. You might even consider a whole line stack here on that first line of St. Louis, which is Jaden Schwartz, Ryan O'Reilly, and Tarasenko. Looking at this 4-game slate, I think this game here for the Blues has the potential to be one of the higher scoring ones. When I look at St. Louis on the road, they only have 4 points on the road, but they only played 4 games at home. So they must have stacked a lot of home games. But their power play is in line here. And against a Chicago team that is a little bit more disciplined, but terrible on the penalty kill. You can maybe look at that power play, but the beauty of this here is if you go with that whole first line, Schwartz, O'Reilly, and Tarasenko, they're on the same power play line, guys. So you're getting the best of both worlds. Defensively, like I said, Pietrangelo had a goal the other night when I had him in. Parayko, these two guys I always love playing. I know I think you called Vince Dunn the other night just to, at 5,100, I think I'm going to look at those other guys, Parayko or Pietrangelo a little bit more. Edmondson, he could be in play if you want to spend all your money on forwards and have a little bit of potential there at 3,300 as well. I wouldn't have an issue there. Whether it be, if it is Johnson and Mart 6,900 against a Chicago team that's really real, and like I said, losers of 8 straight. Chad Johnson's 2-1 with a 1.33 GAA in the past 5. I think he's gotten 3 starts out of those 5. Certainly in play, I wouldn't have any doubt about it. And Chicago, as much as they lose, they still do shoot the puck. So he's in play for that aspect as well. But I have a hard time believing Chicago gets on the winner's column tomorrow against the St. Louis team that's, kind of clicking on all cylinders since we heard about, about 5 games ago. They were really uncertain of where they were going as an organization, and Mike Yeo kind of reeled them back in.
I don't want no Crawford. Let me just scratch him off right away. If it's Chad Johnson, I got some interest in Chad Johnson. If it's Jake Allen, no Jake Allen. Sorry. Chad Johnson, yes. Jake Allen, no. With that being said, I'm not going to play anybody from Chicago. It's going to be St. Louis here for me. It's looking like a 1 lineup day for me, maybe 2, but more on the lines of 1. So no Chicago. I'm just going to roll them out immediately. And I love the top line of Schwartz, O'Reilly, Tarasenko. But again, if you need to save money and you want to go elsewhere, but you want to get a pairing or something part of this game, Tyler Bozak, Alex Steen, pair them together off that second line. 43 and 4,400 on DraftKings. I think that'd be fine. As a one-off play, just a GPP shot in the dark. If you're not going to really touch the game at all, Zach Sanford at 3,100. You could squeeze him in, fine. Pietrangelo at 5,600. Yeah, he's worth it. So I wouldn't mind that at all. Parayko. Yeah. I prefer Pietrangelo at 5,600, to be honest with you, over Parayko. I wouldn't mind dropping down if I had to just take Parayko, but I really don't want to do that at all. I want Pietrangelo. That's who I want off this. So let's take a look here real quick. Yeah, see, Tyler Bozak's on that top power play unit too. So is Vince Dunn. I like the top line. That's where I'm going to go. So that's where I'm heading. It's top line, Pietrangelo, and Chad Johnson for me. Anything else on this one, or you want to move on?
Now, who did you say St. Louis's second line is, if you have them up, at least according to Daily Faceoff? Is that the Alex Steen Bozak?
Yeah, Bozak and Steen. My screen just switched, and I forget who else was on the line, though. You want me to bounce back over?
Yeah, that's okay. I thought that was the second line. Just wanted to make sure, because we're on a 4-game slate. I'm not going to rule them out either. You have to kind of.
I like that pairing.
Yeah, yeah, I like those two. The
Um,
third guy is a guy that he's like the other ones where you just take the pair on that line. I remember right.
no, and that's what I said. You know, on a 4 game slate, if you wanted to on a GPP take a shot at Zach Sanford, fine. I would have said Maroon, but he's been playing ridiculously horrible lately. So
Yeah, it must be his defensive thing because I was like looking at the last 10 and the one line he's on. They have 2 goals for, but they've given up 6, and it was Steam Bozak Maroon. So I'm like, he must have been the big culprit of the 6 goals against.
yeah, they moved him down and brought somebody else up who I can't remember who it is, man.
I think Sundqvist had a goal the other night, if I recall. I thought
I
it's
think so too. I think so too. So, next game up on the slate, Washington Capitals. They're on a back-to-back heading into Winnipeg to take on the Winnipeg Jets. Probably going to get Copley here. We'll have to pay attention to that. It's hard to say yet. And Hellebuck. Minus 150 home favorite for Winnipeg. And this is our largest over-under on the slate at 6.5. What do you like here?
well, I mean, to echo as we look into game 2 and to preface this, I like DraftKings giving us low price tags on these guys. It really makes it hard to see that we're going to dip down a lot. And in GPP plays, I think you almost daringly spend that buck in like 4-quarter GPPs and play some third lines, fourth lines here, because the price tags are a little bit astonishing. I know we're looking and even that 69, 7,100 of Tarasenko O'Reilly, it wasn't that bad. And then to see that the goalies are going to hover, you're going to spend about 7,000 on goalies. It's a price savings, and I think a lot of people are going to stack top lines. And if it turns out to be a night of depth scoring, you're gonna crush in that GPP. Should you hit that third line, fourth line, depth line that does score? I mean, we see it with this Washington line. Who was it? As we go right into Washington and see who scored tonight, it was Burakovsky on that third line. So, I mean, you got to, in a 4-game slate, this is where this third line factors in. And as I look into this slate, you've seen Tom Wilson come back with a vengeance and get that first goal back after this morning arbitrators deemed 14-game suspension sufficient. So he's back in the lineup. And overall, I think he is welcomed back quite well. As he does fit in nice with this team. That being said, Washington is 0-2 on the back-to-back this year. Of course, they played the Penguins, and it was that 7-6 game on the third night. So I don't really think you can play much interest, and I'd probably ignore that stat and play it as you would a normal game. The only issue I have with that, at least from an offensive standpoint, I should say, I don't like Copley to kind of stop this Jets team. I'm still on Ovechkin here. And would I go, see here, on the road, Washington. Yeah, they're 16th in the league. Let's go to this Winnipeg here line. They're 14th in penalty kill. Yeah, I'm probably sticking with pairs here and line pairs. I'm probably going to, if the line pair happens to play on the same power play, that's like double bonus. So for that reason, I might stick with Backstrom Oshie on that second line just because they're on the first power play unit together. That might be a line I go to. I might take Ovechkin as a single one-off in a lineup as well and ignore the rest. When you look at this Winnipeg team, it's hard not to look at this first line of Nikolai Ehlers, Mark Scheifele, Blake Wheeler. Maybe I wish Wheeler got a few more goals into that, but guess what? 1 goal, 12 assists. Awesome. Line A still on that third line. It must be true. They just use him heavily on the power play too, but this guy shoots 21 shots. That's a great low floor. 6,100 price tag. Line 8 is a must pen him in. I wouldn't be apt to save Kyle Connor on this second line as well. Let me just Washington here. Yeah, this first line of Verona was on it, but Kuznetsov and Ovechkin has given up 6 between them on the one line in the past 10 on 5-on-5 hockey. That alone, I think you at least pair a Scheifele Wheeler, and maybe if you don't want to do Scheifele Wheeler, I wouldn't mind doing the Kyle Connor, Patrick Laine. That way you hit up that first power play unit. I do have interest in Hellebuck here at 8,200. Not sure I'm going to pay that price tag because I think there's some valuable goalie options a little bit cheaper. And an empty net goal by Taylor Hall. That just helps my lineup there. But yeah, I kind of like Winnipeg in this, and I don't think it's going to be a high-scoring affair. 3-2.
I don't want either goalie here at all. I like the game stack. That's how I want to play it. Like Ovechkin, Kuznetsov with a Scheifele Wheeler, something like that. But quick talk about Washington and their side. Ovechkin's in play. Kuznetsov certainly. Tom Wilson certainly. Off the second line, Backstrom and Oshie. Oh yeah, Backstrom and Oshie. I wouldn't mind that if you want to pair them up and run them against the top line of Winnipeg. That'd be all right with me too. Burakovsky's goal was assisted by Eller here and Conley, so they play together well on that third line. They'll probably get some more ice time there tomorrow. On the back-to-back, they're not going to burn their top 2 lines out playing on a back-to-back, so that third line in a GPP is certainly in play, and I would play it as a line combo, play all 3 of them together, Burakovsky, Eller, and Conley. It's a ton of savings. Let you go up and pay up somewhere else to get some other, more studied players elsewhere. Defensively, I played Orlov tonight. He got me a goal, so he's in play. Carlson's okay at that price at 6,300. I wouldn't mind taking a shot on him. Niskanen, 4,700. I think he's in play too. And again, no goalie from either side. Jump over quick, talk about Winnipeg. They can score, and it's not like defense for Washington is shut down in any way. So they're going to give up goals and they're going to give up opportunities. If you want to run a full line stack and run a line combo of that top line, Ehlers is nice at 5,400. I wouldn't let him off just because he's playing with those guys on the top there. Makes him in play. So Scheifele and Wheeler, Ehlers is fine. Off that second line, I think it's really just Kyle Connor for me off the second line. Third line, Patrick Laine is fine. Patrick Laine is fine. I'll let it at that. So, yeah, it'd be the top line along with Kyle Connor, Patrick Laine. Defensively, Byfuglien. He's about the only one doing much of anything. Tyler Myers at 3,100. You could look at him at 3,100. That'd be all right if you need to save some cash. So yeah, that's what I'm looking at as far as Winnipeg goes. Anything else here, or would you like to move on to the next game, which I think will draw some ownership?
Yeah, let's move on to this next one.
Next game up, we got the Boston Bruins heading into Colorado to take on the Colorado Avalanche. We have a -115 visiting favorite of Boston over under of 6 in this game, and we got Halak and probably Varlamov in the net for Colorado. What do you like here?
This here game is a game that I'm pondering back and forth. Just some stats that kind of make me worried here is Boston on the road is third from last in goals for on the road at 2 goals average. When they're on home ice, it's 4.1. So that's one thing you can see a considerable difference. And this isn't like when I was saying St. Louis only played 4 games at home. This is over the course of 8 games, folks. In 8 games, 16 goals for. Now, is that, you look at that. That's something you at least say, I'm going to look at that further. Was that a slow start, like a big road trip off the bat? They were figuring out some lines and couldn't get it started. That's something you take into consideration here. This personally for me tomorrow, if I'm going into this game, I like the second line a little bit more. I like running this David Krejci, Jake DeBrusk tomorrow at this 4,400, 4,700, and then playing a top line from another game. That's probably the direction I'm going to head to. But certainly this top line can't be ignored as well. It's going to be high-owned. You said it best right there that Brad Marchand, Patrice Bergeron, and David Pastrnak will be, I wouldn't be apt to say, in some game contests tomorrow, you're going to see 50% ownership, 40 to 50% on some of those guys just because of the caliber players they really are. Depth scoring here, I don't like anyone else except their first and second line. I mean, Heinen has 2 goals, one of them on the power play. So that means 1 5-on-5 goal. Yeah, 1 even strength goal on their last 2 lines over the past 5 games. I mean, this is Boston's problem, really, when you get down to it, of when they lose, why are they losing? Because the top line's not scoring. And that's something that they really need to look at, if they want to contend in the playoffs. We've seen it last year when Sidney Crosby's line and Gensel was the only one scoring in the playoffs. You needed balanced scoring, and they weren't getting it. I don't have interest in special teams here, personally. Yeah, let me make sure I'm right in saying that. Colorado. Yeah, if I have any interest, it's maybe Colorado's power play here. I like line pairs here for Boston. I probably wouldn't put all my eggs in the same basket on this one. I'd probably run 2 of Boston and maybe even do 1 of Colorado, or vice versa, and do 2 of Colorado and 1 of Boston. That's the way I'm feeling about this game. When you look at this here, Nate McKinnon, play him. Landeskog, you can play him. They're a little bit more pricey. Rantanen, I'm going to leave out in this one. I wish he would just shoot a little bit more, but he just isn't that type of player. This second line is starting to come together as well. I think the better second line is going to be what drives this one here. Kerfoot had a goal the other night. He's gotten 6 points in the past 5 games. The power play's clicking there. So don't mind playing a Kerfoot and Colin Wilson pairing. If you want to one-off Carl Soderberg, he's starting to show some signs of improvement at 3,500 as well. No interest here in this fourth line. Defensively here for Colorado, yeah, I still like Tyson Barrie, especially his price has dropped, I think, from 5,200. I think he was the other day, and now he's at 4,800. I'm okay with that. 4,200, Eric Johnson. I'm okay with that. Still 1 minutes of ice time with second power play minutes. I'd be okay there as well. Goalie wise, yeah, I think you can game script this and play either goalie if you wish. You know, I can't game script it. I cannot. This is one game that even though what did we say the slate was? It was Boston at 115. I think even Vegas can't kind of game script which way this is going to go. I want to say it's going to be more of a 2-1 game. I just don't know who's going to be on the either side of it.
I like Colorado at home, I think, here. If you're going to play Boston, obviously it's top line. Certainly in cash games, it would be the top line. GPP, I'd jump down there to the second line and play Krejci and DeBrusk. Nordstrom at 3,600 is shooting a lot. He's got 14 shots over the last 5 games, so I'd look there, maybe possibly a little, but not much. Defensively for these guys, Boston, Torrey Krug at 5,400. That's a fair price. I'd play that. That's where it'd be for me. Halak's in play, certainly. So it'd be the top 5 guys here, certainly, would be in play for me for the most part. And then Torrey Krug defensively. As far as the Colorado side goes, I just like them going back home. I think it'll up their morale here a little bit. Get them pumped up here a little bit. And, you know, I think it's kind of a known that Boston doesn't play as well on the road as they do at home. And traveling halfway across country, 3/4 of the way across country, Mile High City, yada, yada, yada. Give me some Colorado. If my damn computer would open up. There, finally. Holy shit. Top line, expensive, but play them. All 3 of them. Landeskog, McKinnon, Ranton, and Kerfoot off the second line. Give me a little bit of Colin Wilson, too. Hell with it. 3,500. Soderberg at 3,500. I like that. Tyson Yost is back. His ice time isn't up yet, but I guess they'll probably be working him in. So at 2,600, I wouldn't mind a shot there at Tyson Yost either. Honestly, let's see if he's on a power play here. Defensively, Tyson Barrie, certainly. Zadorov is in play. Ooh, I like Zadorov, actually. A lot. 2,600. Nikita Zadorov is a good play at 2,600, man. He's got 10 shots over the last 5 games, 5 blocks over the last 5 games, a goal, and then an assist for 2,600. He's getting just under 17 minutes ice time, so I like that. I like that a lot. Tyson Yost does get second power play unit time. So 2,600 for Yost. I think he's worth a shot. And Varlamov, yeah, he's in play, man. So both the goalies, I agree with you, are in play. It just depends on which side you're going to go. And I would I'd pair my goalie with my stack. So if I'm playing Colorado forwards, I'm going to stack my goalie with them. And vice versa with Boston. Anything else here? You want to move on to the last and final game?
Yeah, I'm glad we're on the same page there. You know, I just can't get a read on that one in full.
You know, I'm just taking. If you look at it, it's more of a pick'em game to begin with, right? So if you're looking at it like it is a pick'em, I like the fact that Colorado is at home. So
yeah, and they need to win bad. 1-4 in their past 5.
Yeah, it's going to be good to be home, I think, for Colorado.
Yeah.
Last game up on the slate, Anaheim Ducks heading into Las Vegas to take on the Las Vegas Golden Knights. The Knights are a -155 home favorite. We have a 5.5 over-under in this game, which is the lowest over-under on the slate. Probably going to be John Gibson and Marc-Andre Fleury. What do you like here?
Well, I tell you one thing of note I see it in at least the Anaheim line is that Andre Casse must be back off his injury. I think they'll, and Josh Manson on defense. So that must have brought 2 guys back from injuries. I think that'll help them. But let's break this down here from starting with Vegas side since they are the home team. I think it goes without saying that both of these teams need a win. I never thought Anaheim would kind of drop off as quickly as they did after that hot start, and Vegas off to the slow start that they are. Vegas at home is 4-2-1. Yeah, I don't think that's going to pinpoint too much for me. Anaheim on the road, they are a 3-5 team on the road. I like Marce's show here. At 6,200 on this first line. He's starting to shoot a little bit more even. And William Karlsson. I like the pair there. I'm going to ignore Riley Smith on that line if I ran him. Cody Eakin at 3,600 alongside Alex Tuck. If you want to run those 2 guys as a pair and leave out Pacioretty, I have no issue with it. I swear it seems like their biggest scorer is Cody Eakin. We look, it's either him or Ryan Reeves scoring. It's kind of unbelievable here. And you look at this fourth line, and it's Will Carrier, Pierre-Edouard Bellemare, and Ryan Reeves. They got, 4 goals in the past 5 games. So even at that fourth line, if you wanted a chance to 2 guys there in the GPP, that would be a viable kind of option. I don't know if I'm playing it, but, you can't rule out anything in a 4-game slate. I know we said that already, but we got to say it again. Shea Theodore at 4,600. He's definitely in play. That's a valid price. 1 goal, 2 assists, 15 shots, 12 blocks in the past 5. I'm on board there. Definitely on board. I'm on board with Braden McNabb at 2,800. 16 blocks in the past 5 games, guys. That's 1.5 just in blocks per night at 2,800. Absolutely. Brad Hunt at 4,300. Guys, if you believe, let's just get a quick glimpse here, at least from the away stats of Anaheim. Yeah, their power plays or their penalty kills 22nd in the league. Guys, 3 power play points in the past 5 games for Brad Hunt at 4,300. I think he's certainly in play with 11 shots. So even if you wanted to do a pair, even if you wanted to do Alex Tuck, Jonathan Marce's show, I don't know how you pronounce that name. If I'm doing it wrong, it is what it is. And then Brad Hunt. It's different power plays. You're getting a little mix of that first and second power play unit, kind of like, it's kind of mixing up your play. Don't put them all in the same one. Hope that maybe both hit for points. You'd be okay there. And absolute Fleury's in play for the cash game here for a win. Anaheim, I like where Getzlaf has 2 goals in his past 5, and I know I've looked at both those. It's since they're the late game, it's like first thing I wake up to is the notification that Getzlaf scored a goal. So I always know when he's scoring. 6,100, I don't like that. It's hard to like anyone on. I'm doing maybe who you think might be the one person that scores or is involved in scoring, and do one person from them. Maybe I run Jakob Silverberg on that second line, and that's it. Maybe I run Hampus Lindholm at 4,400 on the defensive line, or Cam Fowler on the defensive side, and that's it. This team, although they are, I want to say 3-2 in their past 5, it's just hard to see where they're scoring from. And really, as of late, they're just not a very good DFS pick. Now, one of the best picks that I haven't said yet for Anaheim is probably their starting goalie. He's going to face a lot of shots. So even if he happens to lose 2-1 against a Vegas team that has had trouble scoring all year, still probably going to get you 5-6 points without the win because Vegas shoots a ton. So don't roll out the goalie here. And if they do happen to win 2-1, you get a 3-point bonus. So goalie for Anaheim in play.
Give me all the Anaheim. All of it. All of it. I want it all. I'm playing Anaheim tomorrow. Here's exactly what I'm playing. Playing Rickard Rakell with Ryan Getzlaf with Pontus Ahlberg. And I'm going to pair them up alongside Mr. Wonderful, magnificent defensive player Cam Fowler. And I'm going to enjoy that because they're also all on the top power play unit together. And I'm going to love every minute of that. All of it. The whole time. I'm going to love it. Because I'm going to be losing all night long. Waiting for my guys to start playing. And it's going to suck for a while. Because I'm going to be getting my ass kicked until my guys start playing. But that's okay. Because then I'm also going to put Mr. Hopefully John Gibson. But I really don't care if it's just not John Gibson. And it's Ryan Miller. I'll play either one. I'm going to build this lineup as soon as we're done here. I'm going to put them guys in there. I'm going to put Mr. Gibson in here. And just in case he doesn't start, I'll switch it right out to Ryan Miller. Because he's $200 cheaper anyway, and I don't really give a shit about the extra $200. So, give me all of Anaheim. Now, if you want to play Vegas, I understand that too. They are better at home. But I think Anaheim's turned the corner here, guys. And I'm jumping on board now. As far as Vegas goes, it's Marchessault, Carlson. I'm with you. Not a fan of Riley Smith. Cody Eakin, man, he's cheap. His price just does not climb at all. I don't know what he's got to do. But whatever. I like Alex Tuck. He just shoots and shoots and shoots, and he just shoots some more. Looks like that's dropped a little bit with Pacioretty being back. Pacioretty's been the disappointment, right? I mean, it's been disappointing. So, Max Pacioretty, get your shit together, man. You're a better hockey player than this. Let's go. Do something already, man. You're shooting a puck, 14 shots over the last 5 games, but nothing to show for it. Nothing. So what's he doing? Just, shooting it at the goalie's chest or what, man? Let's go already. This team should be better than what they are. Their second line should be better than what it's playing. I'm just pissed off about this shit, man. I mean, enough already. You got Ryan Reeves down here, right? Who gets barely any kind of ice time and makes the best of it. So, if he's going to put the puck in the back of the net, why is he only getting 12 minutes ice time? Put him up there and let him play, man. I don't give a shit if he's old. I don't care if he's growing a white beard. I don't give a rat's ass. If he's going to score, put him up there and let him score, man. You give him 18, 19 minutes a game, maybe he's scoring just more than 1 goal a game. This is bullshit. I hate how coaches do this shit, man. It's ridiculous. I'm tired of seeing it already. So, Max Pacioretty, get your goddamn shit together already. Do something with your contract you got, man. You're there for a reason. It's ridiculous, man. It's a total bust. this whole bullshit, the way they did this shit in Vegas, getting rid of Neil. At least Neil was doing something over here fantasy-wise for us last year. Now he's wherever the hell he is, Calgary, I think, doing absolutely nothing. This is a joke, man. Whatever. If you want to play these guys, as top line is Cody Eakin. It's Alex Took. Defensively, but 2,800. That's a beautiful price. Colin Miller at 4,100. That's a nice price. Holy shit, Shea Theodore at 4,600. That's a nice price too, man. I'm trying to play Shea Theodore. That's who I'm shooting for here. So if I'm going to play these guys defensively, I want Shea Theodore. And I think Fleury's in play. I think this is, depending on which side you want to script it on, more so too. But I like the Anaheim side. That's all I got. That's the last game on the slate. You got anything else? You want to jump in, play the game?
Yeah, just one little update. For those who watched the show last night, we said about Cagiola being more value. Now he's on the top line there. Goal.
Very nice. Man, Vegas does piss me off, man. Like, Pacioretty is just doing absolutely jack shit, man.
Yeah, it's both those. Yeah, it's the Calgary one too. Like, to think, like, why would you say I'm gonna take the first line? What was he? A center, first line winger at Vegas. And we're just gonna put him on our third and fourth line and correlates. If that was their game plan, why would you spend that money on a third liner that you had a plan for? At $6 million a year, or what is that? I think they're around 5.7 mil a year they're putting on Neil. It's just stupid.
Yeah, that's a multi-year contract, 3 years, right?
Yeah, it was 3 years.
Yeah,
Dmitry
unbelievable.
with a goal.
Another one.
Got another one.
Wow. Oh man, hopefully he gets a hat trick. That'll save my night. I need a hat trick out of a defenseman.
It's starting off slow, but them goals are starting to come now.
I like what Washington's doing here. So,
yeah. But let's get right into the game here. Yeah, like you said, and we'll let the folks enjoy the rest of their night here.
All right. What's your? Give me your diamond stack there, bud.
My diamond stack, I'm going to go with the second line of Boston here. David Krejci, Jake DeBrusk, Joakim Nordstrom.
Second line, Boston. All right. I'm going to go out to the Midwest, man. Give me the second line, St. Louis. Fabry, Bozak, Steen. What do you like for your Snowflaker?
Yeah, I'm going first line of Winnipeg here, and that's going to be Nikolai Ehlers, Mark Scheifele, Blake Wheeler against this Washington Capitals team.
That's not going to happen. It's a fair play, but that's not going to happen. I'm going with first line Chicago, Schmaltz, Tays, Kane. Yeah, certainly. That's what I'm doing. What do you got for your Boulder Award?
Well, I know where you're going with yours, so.
Ooh, do you?
I do. Give me John Gibson for Anaheim, and I'm going to take your word for it that Anaheim has taken it all the way. Oh, Mike Green! Mike Green just scored a goal, folks. That ought to be an 11-point night for me.
Very nice. John Gibson, That's a good pick, man. Give me Chad Johnson.
That was exactly who I was saying you were going to go with.
May as well. I'll just correlate it with the first line. Big snowflake stack there for Chicago. This slate sucks, dude. You want to give me a quick rundown, man? Overall thought. What do you think here? This slate sucks.
Yeah, I'm with you here. You're not going to see tonight's 45 points be in the top here. I don't think. I think you're going to place in the money, probably low 20s, and you'll be in the money on this slate, to be honest. I could see the highest team scoring 4 goals tomorrow, and that'd be the highest goals. It's going to be a pretty defensive games a lot across the board. None that I'm really interested in watching. If I had any interest in, that Winnipeg and Washington game ought to be a fun game to watch. You wish maybe Copley wasn't in it. I'm interested to see if Copley can handle, though, a top quality team. It's interesting they played him against it's interesting they took Holtby against Minnesota.
Is it? That's who they played, was Holtby?
I think so.
No, Copley.
Oh, they played Copley tonight.
Yeah, so it's going to be Holtby tomorrow.
Oh, is it? That was a 4 month ago update, I thought, when I looked at it.
Yeah. Copley's playing well.
Yeah, oh yeah. That's why I was like, I should have played him tonight. I didn't even see anyone that I looked at when I was comparing lineups with a Holtby or a Copley in their lineup.
What? There's around 10 minutes left to go in the game, and he's faced 18 shots. Gave up 1.
Well, that'll be a great game then to watch with Holtby and Hellebuck then.
Yeah, a little more competitive. My overall thoughts on the slate, man. I like my offense coming out of St. Louis, I think, for the most part. As far as teams I'm not going to play, I'm not playing Chicago. I'm not playing Boston. And I'm not playing Vegas. I like St. Louis. I want a game stack, the Washington-Winnipeg game, I think. I like me Colorado at home, and I like Anaheim. I'm hoping nobody's gonna play Anaheim, man. I'm thinking I like Anaheim. It's all Anaheim, man. Anaheim is winning my GPP for me tomorrow. Anaheim.
Well, I tell you, with the prices, I'm gonna probably be that, like the guys that I call jerks in a GPP, and I might try to go down the list and say, who do I think is going to be the scorer, and try to hit like the goal scorers tomorrow, even if they're from different teams, and ignore the stack possibilities in a small slate.
Oh yeah, I don't blame you there. I think it's all or nothing, right? Yeah. You're either going to go full stack, right? Like, we're either going all in on Anaheim, or we're not playing but one off of Anaheim.
Yeah, that's what makes these small slates a little fun, because you can get creative with them.
But that's what I said. That's why I like Raquel with Getzloff, Cam Fowler with Pontus Ahlberg. Like, give me those 4. Give me Gibson, and then that's my core. Let's build around there.
I'm pretty sure this is the first lineup that they have Ahlberg with Getzloff, and I'm interested to see how that works, because I know Ahlberg was getting, I think he had 3 or 4 goals down on that third line.
Yeah, so we'll see. I like I said, I think Anaheim's turned the corner, but time will tell. With that being said, let's get out of here. 4-game slate. We're done. Get to bed early. Tons of shit to do tomorrow. So if you liked the video, give us a thumbs up. Let us comment. Subscribe to the channel. Follow us on Twitter, JoeMiner3131, JSMiner87, and follow the channel at DFS Quarry. Hope that everybody enjoyed the video and the quick breakdown we gave for you there. And we'll see you back here again tomorrow night for another main slate breakdown. Good luck, everyone.